In this video, we will talk about retrieving data from table. Now, to retrieve data from a table, SQL Server uses the select statement, and we will also use the where clause to filter the data that you have retrieved. So the table that I'm going to use is going to be the products table that we have built throughout this course. Let's take a look at the table. So if you go on to Object Explorer, I've got my table which is called products, and then in products, I've got the ID column, category, name, price, manufacturer cost, quantity, and entry date. So to begin with, you'd say select from, you provide your table name. In my case, this is going to be products, but then you want to see the columns. So if you want to see all your columns, you just type each and every column separated by comma. So I've got, say, ID, can then do category, name, price, quantity in stock, manufacturer's cost, entry date. So you hit F5, you'll get your results, or you can also execute your query by just pressing the execute button in your editor. That now gives you the columns that you've requested. So you've said ID, you've got the category name, you've got your price, you've got quantity, and you've got manufacturer's cost with entry date also. What you can also do is, by the way, you can request these columns in any order that you want to see. So for example, if I wanted to see the entry date first, then I want to say I will need to see category, name, need to see price. One thing else, by the way, just wanted to mention. So now, can you see the moment I type a letter, for example, I say price, I already get the price column as a suggestion in here. So this is the IntelliSense which is built into the SQL Server Management Studio, and it will automatically pick up your columns from the table that you have. Now, in some cases, if this is not working, then what you can do is you can go to Edit, go to IntelliSense, and say refresh local cache, or the shortcut is Control Shift and R. So if you hit that, it will refresh the local cache, and it will just refresh all the databases, the tables, and the columns. So you should then be able to pick up your columns as soon as you type them. I'm just going to do one last, is going to be quantity in stock. So yeah, hit refresh. Now this time we'll see entry date, category, name, price, and quantity in stock. That's the order that we have requested our data in. Now this is how you do a select statement. You can also rename your columns, or you can put an alias in your column. So for example, if I wanted to say entry date is as, I want to say date product added to the system. So that's the date when we added the product to the system. Category as, let's say, product category. Name as product name. You can say, well, we leave the price as price, and quantity in stock is quantity in stock. So if I run this now, you're now going to be able to see that your columns have now been renamed. So you've got product date product added to the system. That's when it was added. Product category, product name. You've got your price and your quantity. So that's how you would put an alias or rename your column if you want to rename, by just putting in the as keyword after the column, and then you provide your name. And it doesn't matter because SQL Server is SQL Server as a structured query language is not case sensitive. So as uppercase or as lowercase is the same thing. but it's recommended that all the SQL keywords are typed in capitals. So let's be all that in capital. So again, just to run it, it's the same thing. Entry date as date added to the system. So the rest of your columns, you get this. Now, at the moment, we're getting all the every record in our table. So what if we wanted to restrict or we wanted to apply a filter based on our needs? Now, let me just say, for example, I only want to see things which in category electronics. So just then going to say where category equals to electronics. Now, because electronics is a string, I put this inside the single quotes. So if we then hit enter right now, we only have 8 rows, and these 8 rows belong to the category electronics. So we have that. You can have more than one category also. Let's just go back to the full query. Now, one way that you can have more than one category is that you do this, or category equals to this. So what this is going to do is it will look where category equals to electronic or category equals to clothing. We should now have two categories, which we do, electronics and clothing. But you can do this in a better way, by the way. And instead of using the R keyword, you can say in. Now in will return, and now you can have more than one, more than two. You can actually have as many as you want really in here. So that says where category in electronics and clothing. That will still give you the same result as you have as you had with the R clause. Now this is how you select your data from a table, single table by the way. There will be a video about how to join multiple tables, how to query multiple tables as well. Just because these are now basic SQL Server, we're only talking about the basic SQL queries. So you just get the concept. And now please note that there will be more advanced SQL in our coming up videos.